Mike Pence is still sucking up to the guy who sent a rabid mob to hang him on Jan 6. Take a look.
Alvin Bragg and the New York DA and what they're trying to do to President Trump. And you called it, quote, it feels like a politically motivated or politically charged prosecution here. What did you mean by that?
Well, look, I think what we're witnessing is what I call the criminalization of politics. I mean, the truth is, let me stipulate, no one's above the law, but no one is below the law. And the American people are tired of a two-tiered justice system in this country. I believe it.
A two-tiered justice system in this country that people are tired of is the very rich being prosecuted too much. That's what people mean when they refer to a two-tiered justice system in America, and the Republican Hannity crowd applauds like it's their birthdays, like it's their sweet 16. And this is not the first time, of course, that Pence has stuck up for Trump after the former president himself has teased the news of his potential indictment and arrest. Pence said in an interview with ABC last Sunday, quote, "It just feels like a politically charged prosecution here. And I, for my part, I just feel like it's just not what the American people want to see." And he's gonna be running against him for president. So this is Mike Pence in attack mode. Do you understand? This is him attacking Trump. We gotta lay off him and give him a minute to relax. Be fair to the poor guy. This two-tiered justice excuse has become a right-wing talking point and been parroted by other conservatives batting for Trump. Just get a load of this.
Our two-tier system of justice continues to be weaponized, as your previous guests have used, to borrow that term.
It doesn't matter if this was President Trump or if this was a Democrat. It should be equal justice in America.
I think this is one of the worst uses of the justice system we've ever seen. This kind of two-tier prosecution, this gotcha mentality with the criminal justice system is flat out wrong.
This is a politically motivated prosecution. This is the thing that's happening in this country now, where we're using the justice system as a weapon.
This potential indictment is an absolute outrage. It is baseless. It is utterly frivolous.
It's an effort to detract. But at the very least, it's another example of two-tier system of justice.
That group of people, if you walked into a party and they were there, you'd be like, "Ooh, let me. I'm at the wrong house."
Damn right.
For his part, just really quickly, Trump continues to break the law by encouraging violence. Here's part of his rant from today on Truth Social. What kind of person can charge another person, in this case, a former president of the United States, your favorite, who got more votes than any sitting president in history and leading candidate by far, okay, for the Republican Party nomination with a crime when it is known by all that no crime has been committed, and also known that potential death and destruction in such a false charge could be catastrophic for our country. Potential death and destruction. He's predicting it, calling for it. And just hours later, the DA's office, of course, got a threatening letter threatening to murder Alvin Bragg with white powder in the envelope. That, thank God, did not turn out to be anything dangerous, but a death threat nonetheless.
Yeah. All right, first of all, the two-tier justice system thing is hilarious. There's two tiers here between the rich and the richer, the elite and the eliterer, okay? I can't believe this. I mean, like, all the rest of the elites are not charged, and now only Donald Trump is charged. I mean, I remember when the good old days when the elites would never be charged, and it would charges were for poor people and middle class people.
One tier
only. Okay, the goddamn masses. Okay, all of us that were elected and be in Washington, we should be above the law. I can't believe this, right? So, guys, but there's like, when they say it's political, there is some truth to that, and I've gone over that before. So but they're saying it exactly reverse. This charges about the hush money in New York. Well, that's from 5 years ago. It was political that the coward Democrats held on to it for 5 years instead of charging him right away. In fact, Michael Cohen went to prison for 3 years for the same exact crime. That's the two-tier justice system. They're literal co-conspirators. Michael Cohen paid the money on behalf of Donald Trump. He's named as a co-conspirator, Trump is, in that case that sent Cohen to prison for 3 years, and Republicans are saying, good, that's the way it should be. So if you're a guy who turned on Trump and not super rich, you should go to prison. And if you're Donald Trump, you shouldn't go to prison because you're rich and you're a Republican. Two-tier justice system kicks ass. Wait, what were we saying originally? Okay, so they're hilarious in that way. Mike, by the way, quick aside, Mike Pence, an unreal coward. Hey, Mike, I got news for you. You have no chance of winning president. No chance. The guy cheered on other people saying, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. Has mommy or whatever you call your wife allowed you to have any testicles? Okay, do you want to stand up for yourself? If someone tried to murder me, I would fight back and not be an absolute coward, Mike Pence. Okay, that's my aside. And now, most importantly,
that's
guys.
That's the aside?
That was the aside, that was the aside. These are the guys saying, can you believe they're politicizing, they're criminalizing politics. They're criminalizing it. This is the first time it's ever happened from the same guys who chanted in 2016, lock her up, lock her up. Lock up Hillary Clinton for what? For what? Oh, she had some emails. But Donald Trump did the same exact thing. In fact, he did much worse. He took classified documents to home. He spread it around Mar-a-Lago. People walking around with boxes and totally unsecured.
He was signing them for people, handing them out as autographs.
Okay, he's kidding. Nuclear secrets, everything. And they're like, oh, now you want to criminalize politics. You guys chanting lock her up. Look, right-wingers, I don't know if you can if you think the word hypocrisy and the concept just doesn't exist, you've never heard of it, or if you think, no, hypocrisy is awesome. When we want to lock up Democrats for no goddamn reason at all, we're gonna pretend that they ate children or whatever, and let's just put them all in prison, right? Steve Bannon talks about it all the time. When we get back in power, we're gonna lock them all up, right? For what? I don't know. It says the the guy who had his co-conspirators also convicted of felonies, and Donald Trump pardoned him. These are criminals saying we should lock up other people for no reason, but for crimes that have been proven against us. How dare you try to even suggest locking us up? Republicans, man, you are so hypocritical. You are blind. You can't see straight at all.
Just a very quick thought here. Was Cenk this sassy in the first hour? Like, did I miss something? Because
yeah,
dude is on one, saying the vice president has no balls. Quite a thing. All right, a few quick things, and then I'll get into this. First, I know Trump is bad with punctuation, but on Truth Social, why is he capitalizing the C in crime? That was the one thing that was consistent in a completely unhinged thing. Secondly, can we pull up James Comer from Kentucky one more time? Because I know that they got to get on the Trump train, right? I know that they have to. You could even pause it when it gets to James Comer, a representative from Kentucky. But I feel like it's really the Trumpism shtick is really wearing off on guys like this. Does he have bronzer on? Yeah,
he does.
That was another thing. Yeah. No. There's a difference between makeup and bronzer. All right. Look at the difference between his ears and his face. Okay, that is like a Trumpism thing 101. Okay, now on to the Pence stuff. He looks like a
reverse raccoon.
A raccoon dog. A raccoon dog.
Okay.
I mean, I just saw that. I was like, my God,
but I mean,
he's really wearing off on them.
But I mean, to what Cenk is saying too about the hypocrisy of these people, almost in the same breath, they literally say, we are tired of these political prosecutions. Also, as soon as we take over the Congress, we're investigating Hunter Biden and Joe Biden around the clock.
Yeah, but they even said they're gonna arrest Alvin Bragg for trying to arrest Trump. And they're like, can you believe they're politicizing this stuff? It's unbelievable.
DA Bragg, who I refer to as Da Bragg, by the way.
And yet behind the scenes, we all know what they think. We all know what Fox thinks. We know what Tucker thinks. We know that they hate him, yet they continue to go with it because if that one little thing in one sentence where they somewhat partially 5%, 2.5, 1% disagree with Trump, it gets blasted everywhere that they're a rhino and a fake Republican, when really they are some of the worst politicians. Like Noam Chomsky even said what a danger these people are, and they're just going and stepping right along the line. And to piggyback off Cenk's point very quickly, with the January 6th committee, we learned that Donald Trump riled up the rioters and they wanted to hang Mike Pence. And then allegedly, when they asked Trump, like, hey, don't you think you're going a little too far with old Mikey? He was like, no, Mike deserves it. How do you continue to kneel before this man? How do you have no shame whatsoever? It's because this is who they are. It's like Dennis Green. We are who we thought they were.
And maybe
That's
because
who they are.
Maybe because he thinks to have no shame whatsoever is the only way he has a chance to win the presidency in this country.
Yeah, well, it's worked for him before. All right, last two things real quick. Number one is, I think that the right wing is genuinely surprised because they're not used to having the law applied to them. They're used to saying to the cops, oh, go beat up the Black Lives Matter protesters and do stop and frisk and target minorities nonstop. To us, you're the law enforcement when we break into a building and we threaten to execute people? Now all of a sudden we're criminals? Yeah, that's kind of how it works. Oh, now our Republican president can't steal classified documents and including nuclear secrets?
Law and order, when we say on the groups we tell you to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It isn't about justice. The right-wing view of our justice system is that it's supposed to be an injustice system that keeps down people they don't like and elevates them and never holds them accountable. Prove me wrong, Republicans. Show me one Republican where you said, oh yeah, that's a good point, he should go to prison. Never. They're all so innocent, right? Super last point. Rick, I don't know how you got that memorabilia. It's gonna be worth a lot of money because obviously right behind Rick, over his shoulder, is the picture that Donald Trump drew of what he wanted to happen to Mike Pence.
That's the roots. It's called game theory. But then again, you're like a dinosaur at this point. How would you know who the roots are?
I think Trump drew it.
It's one of the
He's like,
best
this is what
hip-hop
should
albums
happen
of
to
all
Mike. This is what should happen to Mike. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
What do you think this was?
That is a Hangman. I mean, also
That's Hangman.
My favorite Roots album is the one of the guy with his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk. That's my favorite cover.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.